Hey guys, my name's Colin. This is Colin Talks Crypto. There's never a dull moment in the day of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin prices. So we enjoyed a beautiful run up from the $4,000 range all the way up to the $14,000 range. And in the past several weeks, it seems to have stagnated. And what is going on here? So are we in a bull run still, or are we in a bear market? Let's take a look. All right, so let's take a look at the Bitcoin prices. And in this video, I want you guys to follow along with what I do, and you can reproduce the same results that I produce here. And I want to preface this video with the usual, this is not financial advice. I'm only sharing what I'm looking at and how I'm handling things. So first of all, I want you to go to bitcoincharts.com. And when you load up that page, then I want you to click on charts. This will load up a simple graph of the Bitcoin price and the volume index. And I want you to first of all change it to all data, which shows about the last 8 years or so. Then we're going to change it to a log scale, which makes it easier to see the changes that we want to see. Next, we're going to remove the volume bars to give us additional clarity and just remove some clutter from the screen. And lastly, we're going to add a simple moving average. So click here, simple moving average, and set it to type in 150 days. So this gives us a rolling average of the past 150 days as plotted by this dark blue line that you now will see on the screen. Now there's a couple of interesting things, and the reason I chose 150 days is because I feel it most clearly illustrates the point I'm trying to make in this video. So are we in a bull run or are we in a bear market? Well, if you take a look at the chart here, you'll notice something interesting in this current cycle since the last peak. You'll notice that we took a steep decline from the $6,000 price range down to about $3,500. And it was a very sudden and very sharp drop. In fact, it was one of the most sudden and sharp drops that we've seen really in a long time, outside of a normal correction right after a bull run peak, right? We wouldn't have expected such a sharp drop right in the middle of nowhere, seemingly. And interestingly enough, this recent run up in price since April, really the past couple of months, from $4,000 all the way to about $14,000, I feel is a direct reciprocation of that drop, that sudden drop. So we had a sudden drop from 6K to 4K, and now we have a sudden rise, too sudden though, from 4K to 14K. So I think that that could be one reason for the overhype that we have seen in the recent months. The price was bouncing back after it went irrationally low. So actually, in retrospect, the right time to buy would have been that irrationally low price of about $3,500. So now the best way I can illustrate this is by drawing the very smooth curve that each bull run seems to apparently make every time that it happens in retrospect. It's really only visible in retrospect, but we try to take a look at where are we on that giant curve as we ride the wave. And I feel like that gives us the best approximation and estimation of where we are in the current price cycle. And so here's the curve. I drew it on the previous price cycle and I drew it on the current price cycle. Obviously we're not at the peak yet, so we're a little more than halfway. Now, the thing you'll notice right off the bat is that the current price is significantly above where the black line shows we should be. Because again, in a year from now, when we look back, I have a feeling we're going to more closely be following this black line. And it's only really easy to see this when you zoom way out to this 8-year view. Because if you zoom in on like the last 1 year or even the last 2 years, the curve looks fairly natural. It looks like, okay, we had a drop from 20,000 to 3,000 and then it's climbing back up and here we are, we're on our way to the next bull run peak. But if you zoom out even further, 8 years of the data like we're using, you can see that it's too steep. It's not a normal smooth progression. It's an irrationally high exuberance. And that's the clue that makes it very easy for me to see that while we are still in a bull run, it's too high right now. The price has gone irrationally too high, and therefore that is the full explanation of why the market has been going sideways for the past several weeks. We've been seeing this 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 price range and just kind of stagnated on the prices, but that's only if you're looking in the past couple of weeks. If you look at the 8-year view, that's actually a very small time span to be going sideways, and we could very well see it drop further. As you see, the black line is well below where we are right now. And that's not to say that we're in a bear market. We are by far from bear market. We are definitely in a bull run. We're just in these up and down, these pullbacks and these irrationally high exuberances that continue to happen as a bull run reaches its bull run high. And these will continue to play out. And this is part of the having strong hands philosophy of Bitcoin holders, because it's very emotionally difficult to hold your crypto throughout these booms and busts that are actually part of a much greater cycle. And so guys, that's how I look at it. I look at it as we are definitely in a bull run. We're just seeing a pullback. And you might think that a pullback over the period of a month is a very long pullback and be alarmed by it. But really, I think that you'd only be alarmed by it if you're looking at too small of a time frame. So guys, I encourage you always to look at a very large scope. There's nothing wrong with looking at a weekly chart or a daily chart, but do not forget to look at the 5-year charts and the 8-year charts, because those are really telling for the big picture that we're in. And if you're riding this to the top of the next bull run peak, which could be a year away or a year and a half away, as I predict, January of 2021, we have a ways to go. So there's no need to be looking at such short-term graphs and scaring yourself. So take a look at the larger graphs, guys. Plan accordingly. Have strong holding hands. Don't be scared by these little dips. These little sideways movements and this pause and the bull run is nothing to be alarmed of. In fact, it's very healthy and it's very normal, especially when you look at this black line and it's clearly irrationally too high. We need the market to correct a little bit before it resumes and rises on its exponential rise to the top. Okay guys, I hope that helped you out. That's how I look at the market. That's why I'm not panicked right now. That's why I'm remaining in a very relaxed state despite the altcoins going kind of low and Bitcoin being kind of stagnant. It's not a big deal. If you look 6 months ago and compare your portfolio from now to then, assuming you haven't changed anything, you should be well above where you were. So it's all relative to the time scale of things, and I encourage you to take a look at it on a very macro scale. Okay guys, my name is Colin Talks Crypto. Please share this video, please like, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you again later. Have a great day.